The great hall of the Galactic Council was buzzing with light and laughter. Dozens of alien species filled the massive chamber, some tall and glowing, others with wings, claws, or metal skin. This was the center of all power in the galaxy, and today they had gathered for one reason: to discuss the problem of Earth. On a raised platform stood Emperor Varnock of the Zarketh Empire. His voice echoed across the crystal ceiling. "Let us speak honestly," he said, flashing a row of sharp silver teeth. "Earth is not a threat. It is a planet of farmers, musicians, and storytellers. Primitive pets pretending to be warriors." The room erupted in laughter. Some slammed the floor with their tails. Others clapped their claws together. Hidden among the lower delegation seats sat Lieutenant Mira Chunyang, calm and silent. She wore a simple black uniform with no medals, no fancy insignia. Most thought she was a translator or assistant. No one noticed the quiet fire in her eyes. No one remembered. Earth had once helped save half their worlds from plague. No one remembered. Earth's silence for the last 20 years. The mocking continued. A representative from the Vakari race, all 8 of his eyes blinking with amusement, added, "Perhaps we should assign them a new role: galactic entertainers. Let them sing, while real species handle security." More laughter. Drinks were raised. Deals were signed, but Mira didn't laugh. She tapped a small crystal hidden in her sleeve. A single word was sent across secure Earth's frequencies, bouncing through ancient satellites and dark matter relays. Ready? Far across the galaxy, in deep orbit beyond Pluto, a cold black satellite flickered to life. Its systems had been sleeping for decades, waiting for that one signal. A glowing red phrase appeared on its surface screen. "Phase 1 is ready." Moments later, Earth's military AI Veil woke up from its long slumber. It had been built in secret, hidden deep beneath Antarctica, far below old ice sheets. The AI scanned its orders and activated silent commands across distant colonies and hidden outposts. Thousands of old satellites, machines, drones. Powered up Earth was no longer sleeping. It had been preparing. Back in the Galactic Council, the laughter suddenly stopped. A loud bzzzt cut through the meeting. Holograms shimmered. Every display, every screen across the council hall flickered. Security officers rushed forward, shouting in confusion. Then in every screen a human face appeared. Old, wrinkled, eyes sharp with warning. It was General Marcus Hale, long believed dead. The man who had once led Earth's failed defense during the Great Collapse. To the council, he said, his voice low and calm, "You were warned. Earth begged for unity. You gave us pity. Earth asked for allies. You gave us silence. Now phase 1 has begun. What comes next is your choice." And then silence. The screens went black. Then everything began to shake, out past the moon of 09, where the Zarketh Empire held one of its key mining colonies. A massive explosion tore through space. From the council hall, they saw it live. The moon was breaking apart. The explosion didn't come from a missile. No fleet was seen approaching. The sensors didn't detect a ship. It just exploded. Mira watched the council members rise in panic. Some screamed. Others called for evacuation orders. The Zarketh Emperor stared at the shattered moon on screen, his mouth open in disbelief. This can't be possible," he muttered. "No one can destroy a moon like that without a fleet." Mira stood now. For the first time, all eyes were on the quiet human. She spoke only one sentence. "You laughed at us. Because you never saw what we were building in the dark." Then she turned and left the hall. No one stopped her. 20 years ago, Flashback Earth had begged for help. Back then, pirate empires, disease waves, and resource wars had crushed human colonies. Earth reached out again and again, but the Galactic Council offered only advice and wishes for peace. So Earth did what it had to. It shut down public communication, pulled back every remaining colony, faked weakness, and then it built. It built in oceans. It built in asteroids. It built under deserts and in the dead zones of space, what Earth lacked in size. It made up for in creativity, stealth, and desperation. They trained soldiers not to fight wars, but to erase battlefields. They built weapons that didn't fire. Bullets but bent gravity, light, and time. And they created VEIL, a thinking system beyond AI, a strategist, assassin, and guardian. Now, that system was active. Present across the galaxy, thousands of silent machines began to wake up. In the Zarkith shipyards, systems failed one by one. Doors wouldn't open. Gravity reversed. Ships floated into space and exploded without reason. In mining colonies, fields collapsed into glowing black holes. On distant trade routes, entire fleets vanished mid-jump. There were no warnings, only a repeating message sent across all frequencies. Earth requests no war. Earth wants peace, but Earth will not kneel again. Back on Earth beneath the Arctic Circle, inside Fort Obsidian, Mira stepped into the command core. Holograms lit up. Around her, Vale spoke, its voice smooth, almost human. The Tsar complete, Commander Chen. The Zarkith moon is destroyed. Their networks are falling, awaiting Phase 2 activation. Mira nodded. Not yet. Let them fear first. Let them wonder how the weakest species just erased one of their moons. She turned to a large screen showing live reactions from Council planets. Panic, confusion, desperation. They need to know. She whispered that the age of Earth's silence is over. The Council tries to respond in emergency chambers. The alien leaders gather again, this time without jokes. The Zarkith call for a full invasion of Earth. Others refuse. They fear Earth now. Some demand to understand how Earth did it. Some beg for peace. A third explosion hits another Zarkith outpost. No ships, no missiles, just disappearance. They begin to realize Earth is not playing their game. Earth changed the rules. Mira's plan back at Fort Obsidian. Mira prepares for the next step. She knows the Council will send ships. She knows they will try to intimidate Earth once again. She also knows they have no idea what's waiting for them in the Sol system. Vale displays the activation options. Phase 2, Mira Vale. Phase 3, Skyfold. Mira waits. She wants them to try, because this time humanity isn't backing down. This time, humanity rises. The Zarketh Empire was burning. Across their territory, chaos spread like fire. Communications were jammed. Fleets vanished. Drones crashed midair. One by one, their strongholds collapsed. No armies had landed. No ships had been seen. Still, they were losing. Emperor Varnock stared at the live reports, eyes wide in disbelief. How is this possible? How can a species like Earth do this? He growled. Advisors gave no answers. Generals said it must be sabotage. Scientists claimed some new kind of weapon, but deep down, Varnock knew the truth. They had underestimated humanity. Meanwhile, on Earth, Fort Obsidian Commander Mira Chen stood in front of the Global Command Council. Earth's best minds, all linked by encrypted feed. The large circular table glowed with blue light. Each seat represented a hidden city, base, or orbital array. Mira didn't wear medals. She didn't raise her voice. But when she spoke, everyone listened. They called us pets, she said softly. Now, they run from shadows. They think Phase 1 was everything. Wasn't. That was just the introduction. One of the council members leaned forward. They'll come for us now. They'll bring fleets. Let them, Mira said. That's exactly what we've been waiting for. The Zarkith counterattacked. True to their pride, the Zarkith Empire launched a full assault. 10 massive fleets gathered near the Sol system, each holding hundreds of warships. Their plan was simple. Crush Earth quickly, then explain later. The Council didn't object. Most of the galaxy had gone quiet, too afraid to interfere. The Zarketh warlords believed Earth was a trickster. Nothing more so. They came. Their ships crossed the last relay point. Their sensors scanned the area and found nothing. no defense. Grid, no warships, no energy readings. Just a small blue planet, a gray moon, and a few dead satellites. Are they bluffing? One Zarkith commander asked. No, another replied. They're scared. They've abandoned orbit. Then, one of their smaller cruisers disappeared. No explosion, no signal. It was just gone. Then another, then. 5 more. What's happening? The fleet spread out. Still, nothing visible. Then a ship's camera caught something just for a moment. A ripple in space, a flicker. Like the stars bent for a second, and then dozens of human ships decloaked. The new Earth fleet, they weren't clunky anymore. No, Earth's new ships were sleek, black, and silent. Their hulls shimmered like glass and light. They didn't fire missiles. They bent gravity itself. The lead ship, ESS Revenant, moved like smoke appearing behind enemy lines in seconds. The Zarkith panicked. Their massive ships were too slow. Their cannons couldn't lock on, and Earth didn't play fair. Veil controlled everything. The AI used old star charts, quantum ghost signals, and even warped sound to confuse enemy computers. Within 5 minutes, 3 Zarkith destroyers collided with each other, tricked by fake gravity fields. 10 minutes later, half the fleet had been torn apart without Earth taking a single hit. Inside the Revenant, Mira watches from the command deck. Mira stood calm. Begin Phase 2, she ordered. Across the fleet, small black drones were released called mirrors. They didn't shoot. They recorded everything. They captured the fear. In alien eyes, the screams, the desperate commands, the moments when mighty Zarkith cruisers begged for retreat, all of it was saved and sent live to the Galactic Council. The Council. The Zarkith fleet moved like a shadow across the stars. Thousands of ships, dark and armored, shaped like knives, entered soul space without warning. No signals, no diplomacy, only silence. From Pluto to Jupiter, every outer station went dark within minutes. Civilian transports tried to escape, but the Zarkith didn't care. They burned everything. They thought Earth would panic. They thought Earth would beg, but they were wrong. Earth doesn't flinch. Deep inside Earth Command, Commander Mira Chen stood at the center of the control room. Around her, massive holograms showed the advancing enemy fleet. Officers watched nervously, waiting for her orders. But Mira stayed calm. Let them come, she said. We're not running. She turned to her AI assistant, Veil. Begin Phase 2. Confirmed. Initiating Operation GhostNet. Operation GhostNet across the solar system. Dozens of small Earth ships, barely larger than cargo. Haulers suddenly powered up, but these weren't ordinary ships. They were cloaked, silent, invisible to sensors, built for one purpose: to sabotage. From the shadows, the Zarkith ships didn't even notice them. As the enemy armada pushed forward, Earth's ghost fleet slipped through their formation like whispers. Inside the belly of the largest Zarkith battleship, a small device beeped once, then exploded. A chain reaction tore through the power core, splitting the vessel in two, across. The fleet explosions began random, fast, terrifying. Panic spread among Zarkith ranks. Unknown sabotage. We're being attacked from inside. But by the time they realized it, 8 warships were already gone, and Earth had yet to fire a single shot. Mars joins the fight Zarkith forces reached. Mars expecting dust and ruins. Instead, they found death waiting for them as their cruisers entered. Orbit, the red planet lit up like a burning forge. Dozens of rail cannons rose from under the surface, each the size of a skyscraper. Before the invaders could react, Mars opened fire. 1 shot per cannon. 1 hit per ship. 9 ships. 9 kills. It was a message. Mars is not Earth's shadow. It is its sword. General Idris Kwan stood on Mars' commands. Bridge, staring at the smoke rising in orbit. Send the remains back to Zarkith Prime, he said coldly. Council and shock news of the early battle reached the Galactic Council within hours. Their chambers were silent. No jokes now. No laughter. The ambassador from the Zarketh Empire stood trembling. This isn't the Earth we remember. The Sarek diplomat replied, "This is what happens when you mock a species for too long. They stop warning you." Ragnarok ascends back on Earth. Beneath the Arctic sky, the ground shook. Slowly, Judgment, the Ragnarok-class fortress, rose above the ice. The sky dimmed under its shadow. Its wings unfolded. Massive gravity panels that bent space itself. As it ascended into orbit, Earth's entire population watched. Billions of humans stood still. On screens, on rooftops, on ships, they all watched their greatest weapon rise into the sky. Mira stood inside its command chamber. Her hand touched the control panel, and the AI responded. "Ragnarok systems online. Targeting locked. Time to burn the Empire," she said. The Zarketh strike, Earth furious over their early losses. The Zarketh launched a direct assault on Earth. Massive. Capital ships entered orbit and began firing at the shield. Bright beams slammed into Earth's defense net, but the net held strong. Every hit bounced off like rain on stone. But Earth didn't just defend. It responded from every major city. Sky spear towers rose. Long, slender towers charged with antimatter energy. They fired into orbit like lightning bolts. And Zarketh ships fell like meteors. One ship breaks through among the chaos. One Zarketh vessel managed to break the shield line. It crashed through the atmosphere, aiming straight for Earth's capital inside. Elite Zarketh troopers prepared to land. They thought they would take the city easily. But Earth had a surprise. As the ship landed, the ground beneath it split open, and exo-legionaries rose from hidden bunkers. Giant armored soldiers, human pilots. Inside, each one 3 times the size of a Zarketh. Warrior, the battle was short. It lasted only 2 minutes. Not a single trooper survived. Zarketh sends a message enraged by their failure. Zarketh sent a galaxy-wide message. Earth has broken the peace. Earth has defied its place. We declare total war. Every ally of Earth will suffer. But Earth responded just as fast. Mira appeared again on every screen. "We have no allies. We needed none. This is our war. You brought it to our home. We'll bring it to yours." As Zarketh forces struggled to regroup, Earth began preparing for something unthinkable, a counterattack into Zarketh territory. For centuries, no species had dared touch their empire now. Earth was going in. Ragnarok moved into high orbit. Thousands of human ships, no longer small, no longer weak-jointed, their hulls black, or drives red with plasma. They formed Earth's first war fleet. Humanity had only one message left for the galaxy. We are not the weakest anymore. We are the storm. The Zarketh Empire had never been invaded. Not once in 6,000 years. They believed their worlds were untouchable, protected by layers of fleets, mines, and fear. But that belief shattered the day the sky above their outermost colony turned red. It was Earth's fleet, and they weren't there to talk. The battle at Droznine. Droznine was a mining world, rich in metals. And fuel, the Zarketh believed it was too far from Earth to ever be attacked. But Ragnarok and the First War, fleet dropped out of hyperspace, like ghosts from ancient myths. Within seconds, Earth's ships began firing. Zarketh orbital stations activated defenses, but Earth's precision strikes cut through them like paper. Target reactor arrays. "Leave nothing functional," Mira ordered calmly from Ragnarok's command chair. In under 8 minutes, colony's defense network was down. The humans never landed. They didn't need to. They uploaded a virus to the planet's core AI, shutting down every factory, drone, transport. The colony was now silent, and Earth had left a single message in their system. This is just the beginning. Zarketh Command reacts deep inside the Zarketh capital. Their warlords were in chaos. Generals shouted over each other. Maps flickered with red zones. They had expected a slow war initiation, maybe. Not this. One Admiral, Lord Kravak, slammed his clawed fist into the table. How did they reach Drozneen without detection? Pale Scientist replied, shaking. Their ships don't travel through normal space. It's like they vanish, then appear instantly. They've cracked something, ancient. Had underestimated human tech now. They were paying the price. The secret of Earth's engines back on Ragnarok. Mira met with Dr. Enzo Langwan of the minds behind Earth's new engine system. Are the phantom drives stable? She asked. They're beyond stable, Enzo said, smiling. They bend local space-time itself. Zarketh can't track us, because we're not in space as they know it when we travel. Perfect, Myra said. Then we moved to the next target. Humanity had made a leap in technology that even the Council hadn't seen coming, while other species built bigger ships. Earth had focused on faster, stealthier, smarter ones. The galaxy had laughed. Now, the galaxy bled. Operation Star Needle. The next target wasn't a planet. It was a relay. The Star Needle, a massive communication tower in deep space, connected all Zarketh military systems. Earth wanted it gone. A team of elite stealth ships moved in under cloak. The Star Needle was 300 kilometers tall, powered by a rotating energy core. Any attack would trigger self-destruction, but humans didn't attack. They boarded it. Squad of Earth Shadow Commandos trained in zero-gravity infiltration slipped inside undetected. They moved like shadows, disabling guards, rewiring systems, and hacking the mainframe. In 2 hours, the tower was Earth's. The galaxy went quiet. No orders. No updates. No coordination. Zarketh forces across systems were now flying blind. Whispers of fear all across the galaxy. Species who once mocked Earth began to whisper, "Have you heard? Earth took Dross. Earth controls the Needle. I saw their fleet. It burned through Zarketh lines like fire through leaves." Some wanted to switch sides. Others hid. Even council members who once called humans primitive began to panic. The Grohl ambassador said softly during a private meeting, "If they can reach the Empire, they can reach us." Zarketh retaliates. But the Zarketh weren't done yet. They still had hundreds of warships and rage in their hearts from their core worlds. They launched a counterfleet, Bloodflame, armada commanded by Lord Krivak himself, ships the size of moons, weapons that cracked asteroids. The order was simple: erase Earth, burn it from the stars. Earth's trap. What Zarketh didn't know is that Earth wanted them to come. Mira watched the enemy fleet moving towards Sol on the long-range scans. "Good," she said. "They fell for it." Behind her, General Quan grinned. They'll be walking straight into a kill zone. Ragnarok moved behind Jupiter's shadow, along with over 600 hidden ships. Earth had turned its entire solar system into a battlefield rigged with gravity traps, energy mines, and ambush points. This wasn't war. This was a hunt. Zarketh fleet enters the trap. The Bloodflame armada entered. Sol space at full speed. No resistance. No signals. Just empty silence. Lord Kravak growled. Cowards are hiding, and the stars around them shifted. It wasn't natural. Gravity fields twisted. Space bent. Ships started to spin off course. Stabilize formation, shouted Kravak. But it was too late. From the shadows behind Jupiter, Earth struck. 1,000 beams of red light ripped into the enemy fleet. Electromagnetic torpedoes disabled power systems. Phase missiles tore through command decks. And then Ragnarok arrived. Its massive rail cannon charged WI. The Zarketh Empire had never lost a battle until Earth. Now, they had lost 5 in a single night. Whole fleets gone. Warships shattered. Commanders missing. The most powerful supercarrier, the Iron Womb, was now silent wreckage drifting. Through space, back in the Zarketh capital, the Emperor's chambers were filled with screams. "This is not possible," Emperor Varnock bellowed, smashing a golden staff against the floor. "They are humans, weak, untrained, poor." None of his generals dared speak. One Tridand was killed on the spot. Varnock turned to his last trusted scientist, Dravis Zell. "Find me a weakness. I don't care if you have to burn 10 planets to do it. I want Earth gone, Travis bowed. We found something, my Emperor. A secret. Secret of Sol far away, on a hidden Zarketh moon laboratory. Scientists had been studying Earth's past old satellites, ancient videos, human culture. Their ships are powerful, Travis said. But their history is full of pain, betrayal, fear. If we hit them emotionally, we might break them, explained Varnick said coldly. Dravis showed an image. A city old, burned, abandoned. It was New Berlin, one of Earth's most tragic colony failures, a place Earth had left behind decades ago. We've discovered survivors still living underground, Dravis whispered. Earth has kept them secret, hidden, weak. Varnock grinned. Then that is where we strike. Meanwhile, on Earth's flagship ESS Revenant commander, Myra Chen, reviewed new intel. Her team had intercepted strange data from the outer sectors. Zarketh signals bouncing around the old colony zones. Mira narrowed her eyes. They're searching. For something, probably a way to hurt us. Vale, the ship's AI confirmed it. Zarketh scouts have found New Berlin commander. Civilian signatures detected. Mira went silent. That place held people Earth had sworn to protect people who had no ships, no defenses. How long until they strike? Within 1 Earth hour. Mira didn't hesitate. Scramble Phantom Squadron. We're going dark again. Zarketh attack on New Berlin at first. Skies over New Berlin were peaceful. Then came the shadows. Zarketh bombers ripped through the clouds dark. Spike ships built for fear. They launched energy torpedoes at every known entrance to the colony. Below, tunnels collapsed. Smoke filled the sky. Screams echoed underground. The Zarketh commander, wearing a crown of bone, laughed. Let Earth watch its children die. But Earth had already arrived. The black ships returned. The Zarketh scanners didn't catch them. No blips, no signals, not even heat. But above them, 12 black shapes formed a perfect circle. Phantom Squadron. They didn't drop bombs. They shut down space itself. The sky cracked. A ripple pulsed through the atmosphere, and then the Zarketh fleet vanished. Not destroyed. Just erased. Gone. Mira lands the Revenant, landed outside the broken colony. Dust still rose from the bombed tunnels. Mira walked alone, wearing a black coat with no insignia. A child crawled out of the ruins, holding a doll made from old tech parts. Mira knelt and gently held the child's hand. You're safe now, she said softly. No one will hurt you again. The people of New Berlin had believed Earth had forgotten them. Now they knew the truth. The galaxy responds. The council met in emergency session. Everyone was afraid. One member asked, how did Earth save a colony before the attack even happened? Another whispered, they're everywhere. Even empires that once hated Earth now sent messages of alliance, apologies, promises of peace. But Mira wasn't interested in words, not yet. She was still planning because something bigger was coming back on.
Varnock was furious.
They saved the colony. Yes, Dravis admitted. How? We don't know. Their stealth is beyond science. Varnick crushed the armrest of his throne. Then we burn everything. He called for Extermination Protocol 9, the target, Earth itself. Earth's next move-in, a hidden chamber beneath Antarctica. Earth's true leadership gathered, not politicians, not generals, just planners. Shadows. The people who had watched the galaxy for 200 years in silence. Mira stood before them. They're coming for Earth, she said. It's time for Phase 3. One of the planners nodded. Release Project Ragnarok. Mira tapped her wrist device. Deep underground, something old awakened. Huge, dormant. Not a weapon. A force. The winds howled over Antarctica's frozen plains. But beneath the ice, something stirred. In a chamber buried deeper than any mine. Locked away for almost a century, Project Ragnarok had been sleeping. Massive turbines came alive. Energy surged through black cables the size of buildings. Steam hissed from hidden vents. Above, it all Commander Mira Chen stood on a balcony. watching as the lights blinked green, one by one. She wasn't smiling. She was remembering. The first time she saw Project Ragnarok, she was just a child. Now she had the key to unlock it. "Commander," the technician said nervously. "Activation in 60 seconds? Are you sure?" Myra nodded. "The Zarkith want to end Earth. Fine, let them try." Inside Project Ragnarok, it wasn't a bomb. Not a weapon like the galaxy expected. It was a machine. A massive mobile fortress 3 kilometers tall, coated in invisible alloys, powered by a quantum heart. Its name, Judgment, wasn't built to fight. It was built to end wars, silently. It rose through the ice, hidden from satellites, unseen by enemy eyes, but far above in orbit. Someone was watching. Zarketh Scout intercepts the signal. A small Zarketh spy drone, shaped like a flying needle, picked up the energy spike. It sent a signal back to Zarketh Prime. Unknown activity on Sol 3 seismic, electromagnetic, quantum readings abnormal. Possible super weapon. But the message never reached them, as the drone turned to escape. A black blur slashed across the sky. Earth's interceptor ship, small, silent, and faster than light, it raced the drone before it could blink. Back on Earth, VEIL, the AI confirmed. Starkith spy neutralized. No data leaked. Us, Mira whispered. Good. Let them stay blind. Zarkith Empire mobilized in the throne room of Zarkith Prime. Emperor Varnok stood before a giant star map. Every red light was a warship. Thousands. "We strike Earth in 4 days." He growled. "No more games." He pointed at the Sol system. "Burn everything." General Achiraka, one of his most brutal commanders, grinned. "Shall we prepare the fire fleets?" "All of them." The room fell silent. Never before had the Zarketh deployed their full force, until now. But none of them knew. Earth was ready. On Mars, humanity's second fortress, while the galaxy believed Earth was humanity's only home. They forgot Mars. Deep under the red surface, Mars was no longer barren. It was weaponized. Factories hummed. Titan-class drones marched through hangars. Atmospheric warfields were being prepared, fields that could melt ships mid-flight. General Idris Kwan, head of Mars Command, contacted Mira through a secure channel. "The Red World stands ready. Zarkith wants war? We'll give them hell." "Good," Mira replied. "Hold until I give the word. Ragnarok must reach orbit first. Understood?" In orbit, the shield unfolds while Ragnarok moved beneath Earth's crust. Something rose above it, a structure that had been invisible until now. The VeilNet, dozens of satellites, once thought to be simple comms relays, began linking together, forming a globe of light around Earth. Each satellite activated plasma cores, forming a solid energy dome that could block orbital strikes. The Council once laughed at these small Earth satellites. Now, they watched in silence. One council member whispered, That's not a shield. That's a trap." Council in crisis at the Intergalactic Council Hall. Panic broke out. Earth is activating unknown technologies. Zarkith is sending a full fleet. Should we step in? But no one moved. Because now, Earth wasn't the joke of the galaxy. Anymore, it was the dark horse. Unpredictable, dangerous, and the only species with no allies, no mercy, and no fear. Final countdown to invasion back at Earth HQ. Mira reviewed the live feeds. Zark fleets were warping into positions near the Sol border. The countdown began. 72 hours until invasion. Mira walked to the bridge of the ESS Revenant. Her crew stood at full attention. Young, smart, ready. They think we're the weakest. But we've crushed their scouts. We've broken their pride. She looked at them, one by one. Now we crush their empire. Cheers erupted. Last words to humanity before the battle. Earth sent a message. A simple video broadcast, one speaker, Mira. Chen dot her eyes calm, her words sharp. To the citizens of Earth, Mars, and our silent colonies beyond, they called us a joke. They called us pets. They called us nothing. She paused. Let's show them what nothing becomes when it's pushed too far. The screen went black, and the galaxy braced itself, because Ragnarok was awake, and Earth was no longer hiding. The galaxy was quiet, not peaceful, afraid. Word spread faster than light. Earth had defeated the Bloodflame Armada. The mighty Zarketh Empire, the oldest military power in the stars, had lost its strongest fleet in a single battle, and now the real fear began, because Earth had not stopped. Panic in the council hall on Varela Prime. Ambassadors gathered for an emergency session. Holograms flickered. Some seats were empty. Those from Zarketh systems too damaged to respond. The Ashari ambassador, known for her calm nature, looked pale. They were the weakest, she whispered. We saw them as children. The Varnock slammed a clawed fist on the table. They are no children. They are predators who waited until they were ready. The council president stood. Crushed Zarketh. What stops them from turning on us? No one answered, because no one knew. Earth's offered just when panic reached its peak. Earth sent a transmission. It wasn't a threat, it was a message of choice. We have no wish to conquer, said General Quan, standing in a sleek room aboard the Ragnarok. But we will not be mocked, enslaved, or ignored ever again. The Zarketh attacked our people, stole from our colonies, and called us pets. We responded. The message ended with 6 words displayed on every council member's screen. Peace is possible, but never weakness. The council knew what that meant. They had one chance to respect Earth or lose everything. Inside the Empire's heart far away. In the capital world of the Zarketh Empire, Kormazuan panic turned into full collapse. Factories stopped. Rebellions started. For centuries, the Empire ruled through fear. But now, they had become the ones afraid. Inside the Imperial Throne Hall, Lord Kravak faced his Emperor. You said they were nothing? Kravak hissed. Now our fleets are dust, our systems blind, and the people want surrender? The Emperor, old and trembling, stared into the stars. We looked down on ants, and they brought fire to our empire. We made a mistake. Mira's decision back aboard the Ragnarok. Mira Chen stood with her command team. They had done the impossible. But the war wasn't over. Zarketh still controls core systems, she said. They still have slave worlds. They still hold prisoners. Dr. Enzo Lang nodded. Their tech is failing. Their people are ready to rise. If we strike now, we end the Empire. Mira looked at the stars beyond the window. Then we move. The uprising begins in the outer worlds of the Empire. Slaved races saw Earth's victories as hope. The felon miners on Zarn 3 attacked. Their guards using stolen tools. The Yanari on Rukdos disabled their overseers with hacked drones everywhere. Rebellion sparked. And at the center of it all was one symbol, the red crest of Earth painted on walls. Ships and flags. Humanity had become a beacon. The ones who were mocked. They now led a galactic revolution, returned to Kormazun Mera's fleet. Moved fast, no long speeches. No waiting phase drives dropped them directly above Korama. This time, it was no battle. The people of the capital opened their skies. They had seen what Earth did to their rulers now. They were ready to be free when the Ragnarok touched. Down, the people didn't resist. They cheered. The end of the Zarketh Empire inside the throne room. Mira stood before the broken Emperor. He didn't speak. He only handed her a blade, the symbol of Zarketh command. It was over. 6,000 years of rule ended in silence. Humanity had not just defeated the Empire, they had dismantled it. A message to the galaxy Earth sent one final message to every corner of space. It was simple. To those who seek peace, we offer friendship.
House.
To those who seek war, we offer warning. Earth remembers everything, and Earth is watching. Across the stars, even the most powerful races sat still, because the message was not a threat, it was a truth. Earth had risen. Not just as a survivor, not just as a fighter, but as a galactic force that could no longer be ignored. The Zarketh Empire had fallen. But Earth knew the fight wasn't over. The galaxy was large, and in the shadows, others were watching. Old powers, silent enemies, unknown forces, all wondering the same thing. How did the weakest species win? And more importantly, what else is Earth hiding? Ptz. Myra Chen stood on the command deck of the Ragnarok, now in orbit above Earth. She looked down at the blue planet. Peaceful, quiet, but it had not always been that way. Beside her, Admiral Torres spoke. "We have visitors," he said, "uninvited." Mira turned. "Who?" He showed her the data. A stealth fleet, approaching from deep space. No markings. No ID codes. But their design matched nothing in any galactic database. "Someone new?" Mira asked. Torres nodded. "Or someone old. Someone careful." The shadow fleet out near the edge of the Sol system, just beyond Pluto's orbit. Waited black ships. No lights, no transmissions. They had watched Earth for years. Quiet, hidden, waiting for the right moment. And now that Earth had crushed Zarketh, their moment had come. "Phase 2 is activated," one of them said. "Begin infiltration." But what they didn't know was that Earth had been watching them. 2. Earth's secret project far beneath Earth's surface, in an ancient military vault known only as Black Echo. An alarm sounded. The AI known as Sentinel woke from sleep. It had one purpose: to detect non-native signals in Earth's space. And now, it had red lights flashed, codes were sent, and one word was spoken across hidden channels. "Awaken Project Revenant." Project Revenant Mira received the message on her private comms. Her blood ran cold. "Project Revenant," she whispered. "I thought that was shut down." Torres shook his head. It was hidden, not shut down. Project Revenant was Earth's last resort, an AI-controlled fleet. Ghost ships built from asteroid cores, invisible, unstoppable, unforgiving, and now they were active. Infiltration attempt in the orbit of Jupiter. 3 black ships from the unknown fleet launched drones, tiny, fast, invisible to standard sensors. They headed toward Earth's satellites, but just before they could reach them, they vanished. No explosion. No warning, just dash gone. Ghost ships strike. The Shadow Fleet never saw them coming. 20 Revenant ships decloaked behind enemy lines. No heat, no sound, only death. The first black ship didn't even react in time before it was split in half by a silent energy beam. The second ship tried to flee, but its own navigation turned against it, hijacked by Revenant AI. Within minutes, 5 enemy ships were destroyed. The rest, gone into hyperspace running, but Earth had already marked them. Who are they? Back aboard the Ragnarok, Mira gathered with Earth's top minds. "We need answers," she said. "That wasn't just a scouting mission. It was a test," Dr. Enzo Lang agreed. "They were measuring our defenses, and now they know we can see them, hit them, kill them." A new face joined the meeting. Agent Dara Vexleader, of Earth's Deep Void Intelligence. "They call themselves the Eclipse Order," she said. "We found traces of their language deep in ancient ruins on Mars." Mira frowned. "Been here before," Vex nodded, "before we even had writing." A new enemy, the Eclipse Order was not part of any known alliance. They operated outside the Council. They had no homeworld, just fleets and goals. They believed in galactic reset, destroying civilizations that grew too fast. Too strong. Earth had just passed their threshold. They weren't laughing at humanity. They were preparing to erase it. Humanity doesn't run. Mira stood before Earth's Joint Command. Her voice was clear, steady. "They want to test us, fine, but this isn't Zarketh. This isn't a slow, proud empire full of weakness. This is Earth. We fight, we build, we adapt. We don't kneel." The message to Eclipse Earth didn't wait. They sent a signal straight into deep space. A burst of sound, image, and code. It showed the fall of the Zarketh Empire, the rebellion of the slave worlds, the rise of human fleets, the Revenant ships hovering over dead enemies, and one simple sentence: "You are not the only ones who prepare in shadows." Suspense builds back in the dark corners of space. The leaders of the Eclipse Order received the message. For the first time in centuries, They paused, and one of them said something no one expected. We underestimated them, as the others leaned forward. Do we continue? A long silence, then a cruel smile. Oh yes, but this time, ... we don't test. We invade. The signal Earth sent had reached its target. The Eclipse Order, mysterious ancient power, had watched silently from the void now. They moved. A black fleet rises from a dead star system at the edge of the galaxy. The Eclipse Armada began to emerge, ships shaped like daggers, engines that made no sound, holes darker than space, thousands of them. A message echoed through their command networks. Earth has grown dangerous. Our defiance is infection. We end it now. It wasn't war. To them, it was cleansing. Back on Earth it. Myra Chen stood before the Earth Defense Assembly. She didn't smile, didn't blink. The Eclipse Order is coming, she said. Not to talk, not to threaten, to destroy. Some council members were afraid, others confused. But we defeated. The Zarkith Empire once said, "We've proven ourselves." Mira shook her head. Zarkith played politics. Eclipse plays extinction. The room went silent. Then Admiral Torres stood up. "We don't beg, we prepare." As the first strike, the Eclipse fleet didn't waste time. They didn't come to Earth directly. Instead, they targeted Earth's allies. One by one, human-friendly. Systems began to go dark. First, Valerie, a colony where humans had helped end a plague. Gone. No survivors. Second, Theta Richa, science hub built by humans and aliens together. Its space station vanished. Third, Ankara Sixa, peaceful farming world under Earth's protection. Burned to ash in just 48 hours. Millions died, and Earth could only watch. The trap at Earth was not passive. For every eclipse strike, Earth tracked energy signatures, jump points, and fleet patterns. They built a map of the enemy, and then they set a trap at a remote sector known as the Drift. Earth placed a fake distress signal. It was bait, and Eclipse took it. The Revenants unleashed as 300 Eclipse warships jumped into the Drift. ... They were met with silence. No colonies. No humans. Just empty space. Until ... The Revenant fleet decloaked 50 ghost ships. Silent. Deadly. But this time, they weren't alone. They brought a new creation. Project Fenrir. A single ship. 10 kilometers long, built from Zarketh tech. Powered by black hole energy, commanded by no one, Fenrir had one mission: hunt and erase. The battle in the Drift, the Eclipse fleet opened fire, but Revenants didn't move like normal ships. They shifted, phased, split apart like shadows. Within minutes, 70 Eclipse vessels were gone. Fenrir entered the battlefield. Its core opened, deleting a gravity wave that tore enemy ships in half without firing a shot. We underestimated their AI, and Eclipse commanders shouted, "They've created weapons even we don't understand." Myra takes command. Myra Chen was aboard the Ragnarok. Overseeing the battle remotely, as Eclipse ships fell, she gave one chilling order: no survivors. They won't stop unless we make them fear us. Eclipse regroups back in the void. Leaders of Eclipse were shocked. This wasn't the weak Earth they remembered. This was something new. They turned Empire wreckage into gods, one whispered. What are they becoming? Earth responds. In a live broadcast, sent across the galaxy, Mira Chen spoke directly. We are not the weakest anymore. We are the storm your shadows feared. We gave peace a chance. You gave us war. Now, we give you extinction. The galaxy listened, and for the first time, ... the galaxy believed her. Final moves begin. Eclipse launched their Omega fleet. Their final, most powerful Armada Earth activated protocol Leviathan, the last line of defense. It's buried beneath Mars for 200 years. The final battle was coming. And this time, only one species would survive. The galaxy had changed. No longer was Earth laughed at or ignored now. It was feared. But the war was not over. The Eclipse Omega fleet was coming. Their strongest forces. Their final strike? Earth had one chance to survive, and one last card to play. Mars awakens, buried beneath the red sands of Mars. Inside an ancient cavern built 2 centuries ago, a massive machine came to life. Lights flickered. Steel groaned. A soft voice echoed through the control chamber. Leviathan protocol activated. Humanity's final guardian. Online, the machine was not a ship. It was a living weapon. Half AI, half alien tech. Powered by a captured quantum singularity, the Leviathan. Its body was a kilometer long, covered in adaptive armor. Armed with forbidden tech, Earth had hidden even from its allies. It had one purpose: protect Earth at any cost. Final orders. Admiral Torres stood in the war room on Earth. He looked at the fleet generals and spoke clearly. This is the moment humanity was born for. We are not diplomats anymore. We are defenders. He turned to LT Myra Chen. You've led us through every fire. Now lead us through this. Myra nodded. She had lost friends, seen colonies fall, stood before emperors who called her species pets. Now she would lead humanity's final fight. The Omega Fleet arrives above Earth's orbit. The sky tore open, not 1, not 10. 2,000 eclipse. Ships appeared in perfect formation, each one armed with weapons strong enough to burn cities from orbit. The ground shook. Sirens screamed, and the people of Earth looked to the sky in silence. Some prayed, some wept, but no one ran. They knew humanity wouldn't go down without a fight. Humanity fights back the Revenant. Fleet rose first, scarred from past battles, outnumbered but fearless. Behind them came Earth's new vanguard ships designed after studying Zarkith cores, sleek, sharp, deadly from the surface. Orbital cannons activated. Space became chaos. Lasers, plasma fire, gravity bombs. Ships exploded. Raka rained across orbit. But the Eclipse Omega Fleet was too strong. They broke through. They began targeting cities. New York, Delhi, Nairobi, Tokyo. Humanity was being pushed back. And then Leviathan moved. The beast enters the war. The Mars. Sand split open. The Leviathan rose. Its black armor reflected no light. Its eyes burned blue with ancient energy. And then it jumped. In an instant, it arrived above Earth's orbit. Eclipse ships opened fire, but nothing touched it. Leviathan bent space around itself. Lasers curved. Missiles vanished, and then NIT attacked. It didn't fire like normal ships. It used graviton, claws to rip ships in half. Pulse storms shut down enemy systems, and its final weapon. The Event Horizon core created a mini black hole, hundreds of eclipse. Ships were crushed in seconds. LT Mira's last mission, Mira's ship, the Valkyrie, was hit. Systems failing, fire inside, alarms screaming, but she refused to abandon her post. Route all power to targeting. We take out their command ship. Crew hesitated. That's suicide, someone whispered. She stared ahead. So is surrender. They obeyed. The Valkyrie flew straight into the enemy command fleet, dodging fire, engines burning. Eclipse's command ship, the Omen-locked weapons. Mira gave the final command, all power to core, fire on my mark. And then the Valkyrie sacrificed itself. A final energy burst struck the Omen's core reactor. Both ships exploded in a flash so bright it lit Earth's night sky. The end of Eclipse with their command gone. Eclipse fleets began to retreat, but Leviathan didn't allow escape. One by one, it hunted the survivors. No mercy, no second chance. The war was over in less than an hour. Aftermath. Earth's surface was damaged, but not broken. Cities burned. Humanity stood strong. Billions watched as the final Eclipse ships fell from orbit. And when silence returned, the people of Earth cheered. They didn't cheer for victory. They cheered because they had survived, and because the galaxy would never call them weak again. A message to the stars from the ruins of the Valkyrie. Mira's last recorded words were, broadcast to the entire galaxy. You called us small, called us pets, you called us a joke. Now call us what we've earned: humanity, defenders of Earth, keepers of peace, and the ones you should never underestimate again.